All right, back at it. Let's do this. Let's read Undrstnd Horowitz, Fruits of the Walled Garden by Mark Undrstnd and Alex Rampell. Shout out to them. When infrastructure climbs the stack. Let's see what this is all about. When generative AI first broke into the mainstream, companies like OpenAI and Anthropic were understood primarily as infrastructure providers. What does infrastructure providers means? Let's see what this is all about. Infrastructure providers are companies that offer foundational technology and services that other businesses can build upon. In the context of Gen AI, companies like OpenAI and Anthropic initially provided basic AI capabilities for developers to use, but have since expanded to create their own applications, competing directly with those developers. All right. Developers were encouraged to build on top of them with the promise that AI models would be the foundation layer of a vast new ecosystem of applications. But today, these same companies are climbing further up the stack. Take OpenAI's recent release of Sora 2, a consumer-facing app for video generation. What was once just a raw capability, text to video, is now packaged into an end-user experience, competing head-on with startups that thought they'd have room to build applications. Similarly, Anthropic has launched Claude Teams, not just offering API access to Claude models, but delivering a ready-made productivity suite for enterprises. Interesting. So it's basically saying that you had this raw capability that was text to video, but it's now being packaged into an end user experience. Okay, so think of the model company as farms. They used to sell ingredients to restaurants, the startups who turned them into meals. Now the farms are running restaurants too. To stand out, you can either cook better with the same ingredients or source ones no one else can. So they got this nice image here. So control raw materials leads to higher value in products. Basically the models were the farms, and you had the application, and now they're actually producing the application themselves. This raises a key strategic question. How can startups build defensible businesses when their infrastructure providers are also their fiercest competitor? Our answer: by planting seeds in a walled gardens of data. In this case, walled gardens of data are domains where access to information is restricted, proprietary, and highly valuable, and where exclusivity itself creates a moat. These data sets are typically proprietary, not freely available on the open web, regulated or sensitive, requiring compliance, licensing, credentials to gain access, dynamic and curated, constantly updated and validated. With that definition in mind, let's review two examples: VLEX and law and open evidence in medicine. VLEX and open evidence, case studies and data moats. VLEX, a legal software company in Spain, began in 2000 as an ambitious effort to revolutionize legal information access by building a comprehensive legal content platform and applying new technologies to legal research. What does that mean, comprehensive legal platform? Let's see what that's all about. A comprehensive legal content platform is a centralized digital resource that aggregates a wide range of legal information such as court decisions, statutes, and regulations, making it easily accessible for legal research. For example, VLEX has developed such a platform by systematically collecting and digitizing legal documents from various jurisdictions, allowing users to efficiently find and analyze legal information in one place. Spanish court decisions, statutes, and regulations were historically scattered across fragmented regional jurisdictions and often not available in machine-readable formats. Over the years, VLEX systematically acquired, licensed, and digitized this content, effectively creating one of the most comprehensive legal databases in Europe. The result is something akin to LexisNexis, Westlaw, Bloomberg Law, specifically for Spanish legal history. Heard about LexisNexis and Bloomberg Law. I've never heard about Westlaw. I wonder what Westlaw is. Let's see. Westlaw is a comprehensive legal research service that provides access to a vast database of legal resources, including case laws, regulations, legal journals, used by legal professionals, conduct research, and find relevant legal information. For example, a lawyer might use Westlaw to quickly locate precedents that support their case arguments. By the time generative AI models became viable, VLEX had already amassed a proprietary corpus of legal data spanning decades of judgments and commentary. This gave it a defensible wedge to build AI-native legal research tools, unlike general-purpose models. So I think that's the line right there. This gave it a defensible wedge to build AI-native legal research tools. So it's like the more proprietary your database is, the actual moat you have. VLEX's system can actually reason over authoritative, complete, and current legal texts. Its moat isn't modeled, there it is. It's the painstakingly assembled data set that no one else has. Said differently, a lawyer crafting the best possible brief or argument needs access to every legitimate matter of precedent. True, a general purpose model, even one as powerful as OpenAI's, might produce a sophisticated sounding legal argument, but missing even a few critical historical cases could be the difference between winning and losing. If the stakes are high in law, they're even higher in medicine. Right, can't be wrong in medicine. Open Evidence pursued a parallel strategy to VLEX, but in healthcare. While health information is plentiful online, most of it is unvetted or consumer grade. Think WebMD, articles, or forum posts. Clinicians, by contrast, rely on peer-reviewed literature, systematic reviews, and clinical guidelines, much of which sits behind paywalls like Elsevier or as restricted medical institutions. Open Evidence spent years building partnerships, licensing agreements, and ingestion pipelines to create a structured database of vetted medical research. Without foundation, its AI can answer complex clinical questions with evidence-backed precisions rather than hallucinating or relying on incomplete public data. There's a shot at all these general purpose models. They just rely on incomplete public data, so they hallucinate. In medicine, where trust and accuracy are existential, this walled garden is not only a moat, but also provides a far superior user experience to that offered by general purpose models. If you're researching a personal ailment, you'd much rather get scientific grounded advice than spiral into WebMD doom scrolling, probably. These stories show the power of owning unique, hard to access data, but the opportunity doesn't stop at law and medicine. Across industries, fragmented data sets remain unclaimed, waiting to be cultivated into walled gardens that could anchor the next wave of AI native companies. Let's examine a few. What do I mean by fragmented data sets? Let's see this. Refer to collections of information that are scattered across various sources, making them incomplete or difficult to access as a whole. In the context of VLEX, for example, legal information was historically divided among different regional jurisdictions, which complicated legal research. By consolidating this, VLEX created a valuable resource that enhanced access. Okay, cool. Potential de novo walled garden supply chain logistics. Today, shipping manifests, port records, custom filings, and trucking rail logistics are fragmented, poorly digitized. The opportunity is a startup that aggregates and cleans proprietary global trade data. Yeah, that's cool. Could build an AI layer for predictive supply chain management, trade finance, or geopolitical risk modeling. Why it's open, Maersk, Flexport, and others each see a slice. No one owns a full global corpus. Local municipal government records. Today, permits, zoning applications, environmental impact studies, inspection records scattered across thousands of local jurisdictions. A startup could systematically crawl, digitize, and normalize this data into a walled garden for real estate, infrastructure, and energy developers. Why it's open, LexisNexis and Westlaw and case law, but no one has consolidated local regulatory data at scale. Frontier science domains. Today, fields like synthetic biology, quantum materials, or advanced chemistry publish research in disparate journals and repositories. Opportunity aggregate experimental results and preprints into structured data sets to train AI that accelerates R&D. Why it's open. Unlike medicine, where Elsevier and PubMed dominate, frontier sciences are less centralized and still up for grabs. Culture and creative archives. Today, museums, historical societies, and cultural archives have vast but fragmented collections, images, manuscripts, recordings. Much of it isn't digitized or is locked in individual silos. The opportunity a company could license and structure these data sets to power AI models for cultural preservation, education, or entertainment. Example, historically accurate immersive experiences. That'd be kind of cool. Historically accurate immersive experiences. Why it's open? Most of this remains under-monetized, sitting in primarily offline institutions without AI ambitions. Niche industry workflows. Many industries generate proprietary but unstructured data sets, vet records, construction blueprints, niche manufacturing specs. Startups can target verticals too small for incumbents, where data exclusivity creates defensibility. Data exclusivity creates defensibility. What does that mean? Take a look. First, the strategic advantage of a company gains by owning unique, restricted data sets that competitors cannot easily access or replicate. This exclusivity acts as a protective barrier or moat around the business, making it harder for others to compete. VLEX has that proprietary database of legal information, can defend its market position against competitors by leveraging its exclusive access to valuable legal data. Yeah, so basically, if you just have proprietary data that nobody else has, you automatically have a moat. I don't think that changed in the AI world, though. Climate and environmental data, fragmented across government agencies, NGOs, and scientific institutions, often in PDFs or inaccessible formats. A company could license and unify emissions data, supply chain, carbon intensity, or local climate risk data into proprietary corpus. Structured properly, this data could power AI products for compliance, risk underwriting, or clean energy development. No Bloomberg equivalent exists yet for climate. Why this matters, the path to defensibility. The model companies will always command bigger models, more compute, more distribution. Those are hard games for startups to win, but there's an opening in ecosystems where high quality data has historically been fragmented, sensitive, or difficult to access, places where sovereignty and trust matter more than raw capability. Building new walled gardens isn't easy. Building new walled gardens, that's the key. It requires significant upfront investment, often painstaking groundwork, striking deals across companies, governments, and institutions. Yet when it works, the result is nearly impossible to replicate, offering one of the rare durable edges in an increasingly competitive AI landscape. I think this is pretty clear. The writers wrote in a very clear way to explain every point that they were making. A few areas where there was some need to go deeper, but for the most part, this was a really cool article. Then the key here was like, if you have proprietary data that's exclusive, you can build AI applications on top of it that people really can't compete with. So very interesting.